Welcome to our exciting tutorial on building augmented reality gardening guides. In this video, we're going to take you through the entire process of creating a simple AR application using Java. We'll start from the basics and work our way towards a fully functional AR gardening guide that can help users with plant identification, care tips, and more. First, let's discuss what augmented reality is and how it can be beneficial for gardening. Augmented reality overlays digital information onto the real world. For gardeners, this means being able to view information about plants in their actual environment, which can enhance learning and improve gardening outcomes. Before we begin, make sure you have the necessary tools installed. You'll need a Java IDE like IntelliJ IDEA or Eclipse, and we will also be using the AR Core SDK for Android in our project. If you haven't installed the SDK, please check the official documentation and set it up in your development environment. Let's start with setting up our Java project. Open your IDE, create a new project, and set the project as a Gradle project. Gradle will help us manage our dependencies easily. Once the project is initialized, we need to add the AR Core library to our build.gradle file. This library provides the necessary tools to develop AR applications on Android. Now, let's create our main activity that will initialize our AR environment. Create a new Java class named MainActivity. In this class, we'll extend the AppCompat activity and implement the necessary lifecycle methods for AR. Next, we need to check if the device supports AR Core. This is done using AR Core APK.check availability. Let's add that function in our setup AR session method. Now that we have an AR session set up, it's time to create the view that will display our AR content. For this, we need to create an OpenGL surface. Let's add a custom GL surface view to our layout. In the main activity, we need to configure the GL surface view where our AR content will be rendered. We'll implement a renderer class that manages the rendering process. Let's tie everything together by creating an instance of the MyAR renderer in our main activity and setting it as the renderer of our GL surface view. Now that we have the framework of our AR application set up, we should handle touch events to allow users to place plants in the AR space. We will override the touch event method in our GL surface view. Next, we need to implement functionality for detecting taps and placing 3D models of various plants in the AR environment. You can download 3D models of plants from sites like Sketchfab or create your own using modeling software. To load a 3D model, we'll use external libraries like Rajawali or Sceneform. For this example, let's assume we are using Sceneform. Make sure to include its dependencies in your build.gradle file. Now, let's add the model loading logic in our placeplant method. We'll load the model from the assets folder of the project. After placing the model, we want to provide users with nutritional and care information about the plant. Let's create a simple data structure to hold this information. Next, you can create a list of plant info instances to hold data for various plants. This data can be hard-coded or fetched from a remote API. We can use a custom dialog to display plant care information. Let's create a function that shows this dialog when a plant is tapped. Now we need to link our touch event listener to show the plant information dialog when a user taps on a plant in AR. To achieve this, you can set up collision detection for the 3D models you've placed. As a next step, let's integrate a small AR tutorial that guides users through the setup process of their gardening app. This could be a simple overlay dialog that explains how to use the app features as they interact with it for the first time. Lastly, we should enhance the user interface. Consider implementing a beautiful and user-friendly interface for the application using Android's material design principles. This includes buttons, toolbars, and visuals that make using the app more enjoyable. That wraps up our tutorial for creating AR gardening guides in Java. Remember that building AR applications requires a good understanding of 3D modeling and animation. So keep learning and experimenting. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content on Java programming and application development. Feel free to drop any questions or comments below. Thanks for watching and happy gardening!